Have you ever wondered what those floaty things in your eyes are? It's a question that's crossed almost everyone's mind at some point. Those elusive specks that dart around when you move your eyes, seeming to disappear the moment you try to focus on them. What you're seeing isn't a figment of your imagination, they're real and they're inside your eyes. We refer to them as eye floaters. Now before you start worrying, let's clear something up. Eye floaters are incredibly common and usually not a cause for concern. They're just one of those quirky aspects of human biology that we often overlook. But when you do catch sight of them, it's hard not to be fascinated, right? These floaters are not an optical illusion or a trick of the light. They're actually in there bobbing around in your field of vision. So what exactly are these floaters and why do they appear in our vision? Eye floaters are tiny specks or strings that float into your field of vision. But what exactly are these seemingly elusive specks and how do they come about? Well, it all begins with the vitreous humor. This clear, gel-like substance fills the space between the lens and the retina of the eyeball. It helps maintain the eye's shape and allows light to pass through to the retina, the light-sensitive part of the eye. As we age, this vitreous humor undergoes changes. It starts to liquefy and isn't as firm as it once was. This process, known as vitreous syneresis, can lead to the formation of clumps or strands within the vitreous. These tiny pieces, or debris, are what we commonly refer to as eye floaters. But here's the fascinating part. When you spot a floater, what you're actually seeing isn't the debris itself, but rather the shadows they cast on your retina. Let's break that down. Light enters your eye, passing through the vitreous humor on its way to the retina. Now when there's a floater in the way, this light is disrupted. It casts a small shadow onto the retina, and voila, you see a floater. It's almost like a tiny puppet show playing out within your eye, with the floaters as the puppeteers, and the retina as their stage. Although the vitreous is mostly water, it also contains proteins. When these proteins clump together, they can form another type of floater. These protein floaters are often seen as a kind of cobweb or veil over your vision. So, there you have it. Eye floaters are essentially tiny pieces of your eye's vitreous that have broken loose, interrupting the path of light and casting shadows on your retina. It's a natural part of the aging process, and while they can be a bit of a nuisance, they're usually harmless. But here's a question that might still be floating around in your mind. But why do we see them as moving or floating? Or, eye floaters move as our eyes move. Fascinating, isn't it? This is because these tiny specks are floating in the vitreous, the gel-like substance that fills about 80% of the eye and helps it maintain a round shape. So when you shift your gaze, trying to pin down one of these elusive floaters, it seems to dart away. This is not due to some evasive action on the part of the floater. Rather, it's because the vitreous and the floater inside it are shifting along with your eyeball. When your eyes cease their movement, the floater appears to settle or drift. This is nothing more than the floater slowly succumbing to the pull of gravity in the limited way it can within the confines of the eye. It's like watching a leaf gently descend in a still pond. Now, whenever you see those little floaters, you'll know exactly what's happening inside your eyes.